So, welcome to my attic office, where I talk about home business, strategies, stories, success tips, whatever it is that I'm using, I share with you. Whatever it is I'm learning, I share with you so that you can lessen the time it takes to learn the things that I learned along the way. So let me talk about just getting started and give you some honest advice of what I've learned if you want to create an income from home too. If you want to work from an attic office or your kitchen table or your living room couch or the coffee shop. Maybe you just want to travel the world and work from coffee shops wherever you go to, use their internet and meet some people and see cool things. I want to fix this here. Okay. So let's talk about let me say this first. I'm just reading my notes a little bit because I did take a few notes of things I wanted to touch on. And the first thing I wanted to say to you is it's not as easy as some marketers out there make it sound. If they're selling you, the glitz and the blitz and the really hypey stuff, it's just not reality, There are people just like me, who's just a home business mom, who just enjoys being at home. I love where I live and I love being here. And then there's the travelpreneurs and people like that, but sometimes they make it look a little bit more glitzy than what it really is and don't show you the underbelly of the home business world. And I'm not here to do that. But I am here to tell you that it's not easy. And because there's a lot of things you got to learn and get over, which is mainly yourself. And that's the hardest part. The hardest part is getting over ourselves and working through all that. But it's absolutely worth it. Totally worth it. Because the journey itself is worth it. If you can fall in love with the journey, it won't matter. I mean, all the successes and all the failures, I think if you read any books about uber successful people, don't you get the impression from them that their lives were worth living and that they're making a difference with the things that they wanted to make a difference with? They've made an impact on the world. Even if you impact one person, it's worth it. I'm just telling you. Because you could change somebody's life. My mentor changed my life. I've changed other people's lives. And some people I don't even know about. So, moving past that part, let me share with you some things that I would like you to know from someone who's struggled and been there. And, let's start with where to start. So I'm going to say a word that some of you won't like. You have to learn to sell. Yes, you do. I remember when I joined the very first MLM that I joined, the reason why I thought, I can do it because it's not selling, it's sharing. It's still selling. Embrace the word sales because sales is service, number one. If you believe in your product and you believe in whatever service you provide, it's absolutely worth it to sell to someone something that will improve their lives, that they need. And that's the bottom line. Everywhere you go, you're being sold to. You're being sold at the grocery center, or grocery store. You're being sold at the butcher. You're being sold in your home. You're selling yourself to your kids. The kids are trying to sell what they want to you. I mean, it's like there's a book, and I believe it's called Life is a Presentation or a series of presentations. If you know the title already, drop it for the other people. I should have looked it up because I just thought of it. I just thought of it while I was talking to you, but I do remember the book. And it made an impact because I realized that to improve in any area of your life, you have to learn to present yourself. You have to learn to present products. You have to learn those skills. Those sales skills are beneficial in every part of your life. You will learn how to communicate with people. You'll learn how to promote. And let's also point out, because I wrote a note to myself here to make sure I mention that you don't start to learn to sell with any kind of get rich quick scheme. If you hear anybody telling you that you're going to get rich without all the hard work, no, it's a lie. You still have to learn all the skills, and it's worth it to take your time and learn the skills, because those are skills that you can take with you the rest of your life, and you could earn money whenever you need it, no matter what happens. I like to think of it as we get to create our own economy. Things are bad, we can find something that's good for the people and make the money that we need and help other people with that money. So it's a win-win. So learning to sell is foundational. And the next thing I wanted to tell you about selling is to start with someone else's product. And yeah, why not an MLM or an affiliate product? Whatever it is, find something that you will use yourself so that you're your first testimony. You can talk about your personal experiences, tell stories about how the products helped you in all the ways. Storytelling is basic marketing. And powerful marketing. Storytelling is the best kind of marketing. I tell stories all the time. So it's the best way. We're hardwired to listen to stories, and that's not the point of this presentation, this talk. So I'm going to move on past that because we can talk about stories a different time. But using someone else's product is a great way to practice and learn your skills. Besides that, a lot of those companies will have sales training for you. Yeah, they will teach you all the ways that they teach their affiliates and marketers how to sell the products. So you will learn some skills there. And if you need to learn extra skills, I know just where you can find them. I actually, learn skills from these people, and I can point you in the direction of those people. So if you want to learn some social media sales skills, some networking skills, all those things to make some progress in your business. And if you want to actually, you could be an affiliate of that and sell that, learn how to sell that. That's helping you learn the skills so that other people can learn the skills. And then, once you learn those things, sky's the limit. Now once you start and you know that you can sell things, you could do whatever you want. So drop the word academy if you want to know where I learned some of my skills and where you can learn. Let's see here. So next, the sales skills, choosing a product. I'm going to also say that you're going to want to look at whatever companies you're looking at. I would look at the leaders. I would look at the culture, because you don't want to be a part of a toxic culture. And look at the owners too, because that tells a big story about how the company is run. So there's that. If you have questions about that kind of thing, shoot me a note somewhere. I'll be glad to talk to you about what I learned from the companies I was in and the company I'm in now. So the next important part is building an audience. This is finding people who are looking for you and looking for your products. Where are they hanging out? And, a lot of people throw around the word avatar, but I really think building your network is the best way, because you meet people who know people who know people who know people. Now, this is basic in all the sales environments, whether you're a car salesman, insurance salesman, whether you're selling courses or selling, it doesn't matter. Building your network is definitely the way. I read Harvey Mackay's book right here in front of me, You Haven't Hit Your Peak, and he talks about networking in there. And he is an owner. He was an owner of a postcard or envelope business. I can't remember. It's old. So, but he talks about all the people that he met along the way. He kept a Rolodex. Imagine that. Kept a Rolodex and notes on everybody, because you never knew when he would have to reach out to somebody, either to help them. I mean, he'd help them in some way and they'd help him because they liked him when they met him and they got to be acquaintances. And your network is powerful. And that is called building an audience. It's called building a warm audience. People who learn to know, like, and trust you and hang around you so that you can talk about your products, talk about things that have helped you in your life and help them, right? Which is I'm trying to do right now in this video. So add value to people, to people's lives. But start with one person. You know what? There's another one, another mastermind I was in, and I can't remember. I just remember all he said was, go help someone. Just go help someone. And that's the start, right? So the next thing that you're going to have to work on is your mindset. Because let's face it, we've all been brought up and taught how to be employees. Nothing wrong with that. We go to work and we're given a task list and we work a certain amount of hours and we're paid by the hour. But the working from home, that's one of the biggest things, is learning how to structure your own activities and being your own best employee, right? So it's a big mind shift. So I recommend, because I didn't at first, because I thought it was a bunch of hogwash, honestly, personal development. Read the books. There's so much you can learn, and there's so many books. I mean, once you get into it and you start having these mind-blowing moments where you're like, oh, I never thought of it that way, you start to stumble across true wisdom. And as you learn these things and you stumble across this, I mean, true wisdom is like when you see that all of these people are saying the same things in different ways, there's a truth there and there's wisdom. And that's getting a little bit deep. I have a mastermind for that, by the way. So type mastermind if you want to learn some deep stuff. But the mindset thing is super important. There are books out there teaching you how to, I'm looking at my stack of books here, teaching you how to think like a wealthy person. Wealthy people think differently than us 9-to-5ers think, right? So there's ways that they think about money. Let me think of an example. Like, we think we save our money to buy, we save to spend, basically. And wealthy people don't think of money that way. They save to invest, and makes the investments in, whatever it is, like your education, whatever, makes the money for you and it comes back, right? So it's like a flow. So that's just an example. We could talk about that kind of stuff forever, but definitely learn some mindset around, finances, around business, because being a business owner is different than being an employee who doesn't really care, just wants to get their task list done so they can hang out at the coffee, around the coffee pot or the coffee, whatever, and shoot the crap, right? So, let's talk about two more things. Be selective about who you learn from. So what I'm warning you here is just don't fall for the high pressure type sales. Don't fall for the hype. If you feel pressure, like, you know what? Go read Robert Cialdini's book. What is it? Persuasion. Well, I'm going to look at this one up for you because is it The Power of Persuasion? Robert Cialdini, Persuasion. If you Google that, it'll pop up. Because you'll learn some of the sales tactics. Here it is. Influence the psychology of persuasion. And the reason why I want you to learn that is because then you'll know some of the sales tactics that are being used on you, and you won't fall for them as much because, I mean, you'll recognize them, but then when you recognize them, you'll also know if you want it or not, or if it's something that you should buy, right? So watch out for the sharks. There's honest people out here making a good living who truly love people and truly care, who are heart-centered in their business and will help you. I know one particular place, and I'm going to give it a shout out right now. Drop Academy, and I'll get you in there. They're a bunch of really good people. Matter of fact, their model is feeding the hungry children. So they don't even pay themselves. They do the same thing as all of the affiliates do. So that's my little plug for that. Drop Academy if you want to learn some of the skills that I'm talking about. What else is on my list? That's pretty much it. So it's not easy. The hardest part is getting over yourself of this work up here. That's the hardest part. And learn skills. It's not a quick fix. None of it is get rich quick. You have to learn the skills and you have to build. Start with just paying for your products, right? And then build from there. Pay for products, maybe start paying the grocery bills, right? Then go from there, Make your business at least cover its own costs, and then that's another lesson. Business building. Read the books. Oh my gosh, if you want a list of books, write books. I'm going to try to put together a pretty comprehensive list of books that I've read over the years. There's a lot of them. So yeah, I already have one list that I have ready. So if you want it, type books. All right. Oh, and here's one more little plug. If you're anything like me, I just noticed this in my notes, and you need a little help staying consistent, I use a little app that helps me keep track of my most important priorities. So just drop magic. I'll get you that app. Okay, so to summarize that little talk, learning to sell is crucial. Start selling someone else's products, but use them too. Fall in love with the people that need those products. That's something, another mind twist too. You fall in love with the product, but also fall in love with the people that you're helping. And speaking of people, build the audience. Work on your personal development so that you're growing your mindset so that you can get over your own self, and watch out for the sharks out there. Okay, look for the heart-centered entrepreneurs. Home business owners. I don't necessarily think we're all entrepreneurs. If we create things, then we are, but most of us are just work from home salespeople. That's pretty much it. Okay, I'm going to wrap that up and move on to the next topic.